Hello everybody, it's Chibi, and today I'm here to bring you a manga chapter review of Magi chapter 255. So, this chapter of Magi, the fight of Judar versus Aladdin rages on in this chapter, and I have to say, I am so happy I caught up with this series. I am just so freaking happy I caught up, because this fight, this entire chapter was hype as fuck. Like, I was so hyped reading this chapter because seeing how Aladdin's progression has been done in these past 100 chapters, like the progression from the Magna Strat arc to this point, is just so impressive. I love it so much, and just seeing how Aladdin has grown as a character too, even in this chapter, it just makes me so freaking happy. So, let's dive into the details. So the chapter's main point is to showcase that Aladdin now is using the Rook. He's diving into the Rook with his Solomon's wisdom to be able to use different abilities from the old days in the old world of Al-Matoran. So to see how Aladdin can actually use the Rook and do something like this, it just shows us an actual little glimpse at the future possibilities that Aladdin will have in the very near future. Because it's kind of already been foreshadowed that Aladdin can do something like this, and we've already seen elements of this being used by Judar. I mean, let's think about this. He is using Manga to use some magic. I mean, we found out about 7 or 8 chapters ago, that Judar actually grabbed Mogamet, and he's using Mogamet's abilities and knowledge he had, and he's using it for his own, and that's why, you know, Judar is just so strong at the moment. So, technically, Judar is kind of using the same technique that, you know, Aladdin is using in this chapter. I mean, Judar is not using everybody's techniques, like, you know, through the course of history, but he's using Mogamet, that was a very, very intelligent magician. And so, Judar and Aladdin are on equal terms in strength, slightly. I mean, Aladdin, I guess, is stronger at the end of the day than Judar, because, I mean, Aladdin can dive into the knowledge of everybody through the past. I mean, everybody. So, I mean, Aladdin, in time, he will become a force that nobody can fuck with. But at the moment, they're roughly equal. So I wonder what is really going to happen in this fight. But I mean, at the end, oh, that cliffhanger, oh, dude. That cliffhanger sucks. It just straight up sucks. Like, you see Aladdin, he bends to fucking time and space. Like, you see reality just bending and crap, and he reflects, you know, Judar's attack back at him. Ugh, we're pretty much at the exact same cliffhanger we had last week. That's pretty much what this chapter is. Like, the chapter gives us a lot of insight to Solomon's wisdom and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, the chapter ends off with pretty much the same cliffhanger we got last week, and it freaking sucks. I mean, a lot of progression in this chapter, but I mean, it's just that same type of cliffhanger. You just get to see that awesome, badass magic from Solomon, and chapter ends. So, one thing I have to say, I like it how Judar is trying to change Aladdin in this chapter. That's one thing you can really take out of this chapter. Judar was trying to persuade Aladdin about, you know, his destiny. Like, why don't you forsake your destiny, Aladdin? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to save this world? I mean, you're a being from another world. You just had this mission forced upon you, and you're being forced to do stuff like this. I mean, why are you doing this? I mean, Judar was trying to actually persuade Aladdin to his side, and that right there is quite shocking. I mean, we have seen glimpses about 7 or 8 chapters ago that Judar is not that evil. He's evil, yes, but I mean, he has his own certain reasons for that, and he's not 100% pure evil. And you can tell he slightly does care for Aladdin in some certain extent, and to see how he once again tries to persuade Aladdin, it just shows you more of his characteristics as a character, and it makes you respect Judar as a villain, too, or anti-hero type, villainish type character. But he also hints at, in this chapter, he kind of wants to be like Al-Faman. He wants to summon the old god from Al-Matoran into the world and let it destroy the entire world. So, we kind of find out in this chapter that Hakurlu and Judar might try to do what Al-Faman did and summon the god and crash into the freaking, you know, world and kill everybody. So, if they're wanting to do something like that, even if Al-Faman, majority of them are kind of dead, and Gokuen is already dead too because we saw Hakurlu just cut her fucking head off, I mean, that would mean that it's still not over yet. That means the overall in-game thing, what Al-Faman really want to do, is still ongoing if Judar even wants to do that. So, I wonder what direction that's going to take in the near future. But overall, the chapter structure Very, very simple. I mean, it's straight to the point. You find out that if Aladdin was trying to get all the information from everybody in the past, like, he has access to everybody's memory. But if he was to try to suck in all this memory into his head, he would lose his individuality where he will go insane. Like, he'll go crazy and his head would bust like a watermelon. I mean, it would explode. And so, you have this overall aspect of how Aladdin's gonna have to learn how to control his, Solomon's wisdom to be able to use it properly and efficiently in the future. So, yeah, very hype and epic-ass chapter of Magi this week. How do you feel about this chapter? I mean, how do you feel about the progression of it? I mean, how do you feel about Aladdin versus Judar in this chapter? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.